I mean, these are very serious allegations for someone to make up. Did you physically attack her, assault her?
Well, at this moment, what can I say? Yes, I did. I pushed her and I yelled into her.
You pushed her and you yelled at her. Okay.
Yes.
But you deny any inappropriate contact.
No, actually, I'm sorry.
And did you cover her mouth?
No, I can't. I didn't do anything like
So
that.
according to you, you pushed her. Did she fall to the ground?
No, she didn't fall to the ground, but she pushed about maybe 3-4 steps back. And I was almost hit her face, my hands raised, trying to slap her face.
So why would she go to the hospital, sir?
And we're about to watch a parole hearing for a man who was only found guilty February and only recently sentenced, yet already up for parole. And what's crazy about this case is that he is still insisting on his innocence. Now, I'll just leave it at that and let's watch this parole hearing together. I will share information afterwards. Thank you, Holly, for providing it. That might lead some insight into his, well, the reason that the jury decided that he was guilty. And with that, let's jump in.
My name is Yong Kim.
Your inmate number, please.
My inmate number is 448273.
This hearing is being conducted in consideration of an application for Yong Kim, inmate number 448273. He is serving a sentence of 5 years, execution suspended after 27 months with 15 years of probation to follow for sex assault 3 and assault 3. As of today, record reflecting a parole eligibility date of May 16, 2025. There is no victim case. There is an offender accountability plan for the offender. It has been reviewed and shows the offender has completed voices and he is currently participating in the short-term sex offender program. Utilizing the statewide collaborative offender risk evaluation system, the offender's overall score falls within the low range of risk for recidivism. Utilizing the static 99R, the offender's overall score for sexual offense recidivism falls within the low range. Mr. Kim, this is your opportunity to express to the board why you believe you should be granted parole. You may begin.
Yes, good morning, ma'am. My name is Yong Kim. I would like to thank for board for the opportunity to be held and consider my for parole release. This is why I believe I should grant the parole. I know what I did wrong. I was in wrong place and wrong time and wrong decision I made. That I know 100% I made an impact to someone mentally and physically. That is why I am. Here for punishment, my life, incarceration. I'm totally blame myself. And this punishment never ends until my life is over. If a victim and family watching me now, I'd like to say I'm truly sorry and apologize to you and your family. Also my family and my church members and community. I'm sorry what I ever done. I'm so regret. I know sorry and apologies never enough. If anything I can do more than sorry and apology. I will do the rest of my life. I pray to God for give me mercy all the time, every day. If I grant parole today, after parole to home, I will follow the parole officer to any restriction, even my personal life. Continue treatment with the program to help my behavior. No more police contact, never and ever. I learned so much valuable lesson through my OAP program, such as boys and sex treatment, how to get away from trouble. So never come back in prison and don't do my freedom, don't lose my freedom. No other victim. I have a positive attitude and respect others. Living good citizen for the rest of my life. Also, I'm so sorry to my trial court judge and prosecutor and juror. Because of me, they spend the waste time and lots of money. I'm truly sorry for that. I have a lovely wife and lovely family praying for me come home soon. Also, I love my family too and miss my family so much. When I go home, I will continuously help my community with my wife all the time together. Also focus on my new church project with my church members and pastor. 2025 is my 40 years American Dream anniversary. And my 40 years wedding anniversary, also my 40-year church anniversary. I would like to plan something special event for my wife and church for celebration this time. Please help. Thank you so much.
Okay, Mr. Kim, thank you for your statement. We do have some questions for you, and then we'll deliberate and we'll give you our decision here today. So I just want to clarify for the record, you were offered just probation, right? No jail time in exchange for a guilty plea. However, you took this to trial because you deny committing this offense, right?
Right.
Okay, so according to you, you were in the victim's home, but she made advances towards you and you rejected her, and you think that's why? Okay.
Yes.
She would make these, so you still deny committing the offense. Okay. And I understand you filed an appeal. Is that still pending?
Yes, because I don't know nothing about peer because my daughters and my wife's are doing all the peers. So
Okay.
I only can ask for them what's going on, but they say that's still like going on.
All right. I mean, these are very serious allegations for someone to make up. Did you physically attack her, assault her?
Well, at this moment, what can I say? Yes, I did. I pushed her and I yelled to her.
You pushed her and you yelled at her. Okay.
Yes.
But you deny any inappropriate sexual contact.
No, actually, I'm sorry.
And did you cover her mouth?
No, I can't. I didn't do anything like
So
that.
according to you, you pushed her. Did she fall to the ground?
No, she didn't fall to ground, but she pushed about maybe 3-4 steps back. And I was almost hit her face, my hands raised, trying to slap her face.
So why would she go to the hospital, sir?
I think she, even, why didn't she go to the hospital?
Why did she went to the hospital? Why did she go to the hospital if you say she wasn't injured at all?
No, she wasn't go to hospital. She was to go to hospital for just the police say go to hospital for checkup for the her injury or whatever.
But you think she went to the hospital because the police told her to go there?
Yeah, because she didn't go. She come to work next day. 5 days she worked with me, no problem.
Okay.
That was after 5 days.
Okay, so we'll move forward, right? Because you were convicted. We're here in a jury trial. And you do realize that you have to register with the sex offender registry. Did someone explain that to you?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And you have 15 years of probation to follow your sentence.
Yes.
Do you understand you'll be required to do more programming in the community?
Yes.
Sex offender treatment. There's a protective order for the victim, so you can't have any type of contact at all.
Yes.
Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So tell me, you're in the short track sex offender program now. What are you learning there?
Well, I never really knew about a sex offender program, but at this time, I was learning from all the other people with the program that mental health, whatever the doctors teaching us for how to get away from the trouble, how to get away from not getting involved with any woman. Don't make another mistake, then you're gonna come back here your lifetime. So I respect all other women to be all the time. I'm sorry with my mouth so dry.
It's okay.
And we have discussed with a couple of inmates together, after we have a program, come back to the dorm, so about what's going on with it. And, after you go out, how to not make trouble again. So
Okay.
to me, it's like I said, I'm old enough and I don't have anything in my mind with the sex or whatever. So I told them, I said, I have no problem with the any woman contact because I'm not going to make another mistake with someone alone, especially women. I'm not going over
I
there.
read that. Okay. Yeah, you don't plan to be alone with any women. And
yeah,
you're planning to live with your wife who still supports you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you plan to work again?
Well, I love to, but I'm not sure they're going to hire me because with my record.
Yeah.
But I will do community service if I can do with any volunteers and also churches. That's what I will do with my wife.
Okay. All right. Thank you for speaking with me, Ms. Turner.
Mr. Kim, in your opening statement, you apologized to the jury and to the state for putting them through the trial.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that because you should have just admitted to the crime?
No, well, actually, I should understand, beginning with I cannot win the state. I should know about that, but I'm sorry because I thought it was I'm probably because my attorney said you might gonna win, so go to 3 trials. So I followed my attorney because I never know about nothing about jury trials, anything about the law. So I follow with my attorneys.
So you said in your opening statement, you know what you did was wrong. What is it that you're admitting you did?
Yes, actually, I know I did it wrong because I should get away from after I speak to her. I know what's going on, that I should walk out the door. But why I make her yelling and pushing to her, almost slapped her face, that make her really upset. I knew that.
Well, it was a lot more than that, sir. She was afraid for her life.
Yeah, I understand that. Yes.
She was in a state of shock and horror, felt ashamed, violated, and disgusted. And it was a friend who encouraged her to go to the hospital and call the police. And the details of her account are very clear. And you would have read that in the pre-sentence investigation. And even the police report said her story and the physical exam were consistent with an assault taking place. You told her that you thought she needed sex. Why would you say that to someone?
Well,
Coworker.
no, I didn't say that to her, but I don't know what's the next day she came to work and talked to her coworker to what happened before that night. Because I believe that this is what happened because whatever happens, I blame myself and I agree because of my juror say yes, beyond reasonable doubt you're guilty. So I said okay, I'm sorry, I'm guilty. That I accept 100%. Even right now, I didn't say, okay, I can do it, I can do this, but what makes difference? So I'm incarcerated, I get a punishment doing it. So I like to say, okay, yes, I accepted or whatever, I did it.
So you're accepting responsibility for the conviction, but you deny the crime.
Yes, I accept my client, yes.
And in one account, you said that this was the victim retaliating because she was jealous that you liked somebody else at work.
Well, that's her best friend. I've been friend with her for past 30 years and company, over 30 years actually, but that's
Are you
what
having sex with her?
No, she's really good with my same age with me, and then we have coffee talk every day. Everybody know we're trying to practice English every day in the company. That's what reason only I've been friend with her for over 30 years. But I believe she have maybe jealous, maybe she have wrong ideas. Maybe we more than friend, maybe she think, but it's not.
You said that the victim is jealous of his relationship with a coworker and she wanted revenge because she was angry and embarrassed that you had rejected her advances. But you know that the jury didn't believe any of that.
Yes, I agree with that, yes, because I made a wrong decision anyway.
I really hope at some point, Mr. Kim, you can, do some soul searching and really take responsibility for the harm that you did to this person, violating the trust and really assaulting her and humiliating her. This assault went on for an hour and she was really afraid for her life. And, I just, very concerned that you are, not at all responsible. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Turner. Ms. Chance?
I have no.
Okay. Give us a few minutes to discuss your case, sir, and we'll get back to you shortly with our decision. All right,
Okay.
so Mr. Kim has continued throughout the entire process denying his offense. However, he has taken or he's involved in the short track sex offender program now, due to complete in another month. Completed the Voices program, is working in the facility. He's received no disciplinary reports. 64 years old with some medical stuff that we won't discuss on the record, but no criminal history. I see no further benefit to incarceration. He's got 15 years probation, so he's going to do a lot more work on himself. And I would vote to grant parole contingent upon completion of that program. Ms. Turner?
It's a deny for me. I think 27 months for the harm that he did to this victim is really quite lenient.
Mhm.
And I think he still has some work to do on himself to reconcile responsibility and what it truly means. That was really a very violent assault on this elderly victim who was really traumatized
Thank you, Ms.
by
Turner.
his choices.
Thank you. Ms. Chance?
I am willing to grant because I believe all that will come into play for him when he does the problem sexual behavior treatment in the community. And, all the additional testing that they have to do.
Mm-hmm.
So despite the fact that he continues to deny, I think some of that can change.
That's a good point. Yeah. All right. Thank you. In the matter of Yong Sik Kim, inmate number 448273, I'll move to grant parole on May 16th, 2025 with the following conditions: no contact with the victim, initials ST, problem sexual behavior treatment in the community, and parole is contingent upon completion of the short track sex offender program that he's currently participating in the facility. Is there anything further? Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
This is a majority decision with panel member Turner dissenting. Okay, sir, do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Okay, you'll get all of this in writing. We wish you the best. Finish that program that you're in, okay?
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am.
This concludes the hearing from Young Kim, inmate number 448273. You're all set, sir.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
So let's unpack this, because this to me is just nuts. Now, when I first saw this, I didn't look at the spreadsheet. I had no information. I actually jumped into it without even listening to the beginning. I was like, I skipped the first minute, and I heard him insisting on his innocence. And what stuck out to me was that he was offered probation and he turned it down. And he took it to trial 2018 to 2024 when the sentence was finally handed down. And I thought, well, why would he turn down probation? But look at this. They had DNA. Evidence at trial showed the defendant essayed his coworker at the victim's residence. Prosecutor introduced DNA evidence to corroborate the victim's assertions. 5/9/2024. He was sentenced May 6th of 2024. His parole hearing happened February 10th, 2025. It's been 9 months since he was sentenced, and he wasn't in jail. I mean, maybe they put him in jail after he was found guilty. I don't know if the math will add up, but he was only found guilty in February of 2024, which would make it a year to the date of his parole hearing. And think about this. There's so much wrong. There's so much wrong with this hearing. It's hard to really wrap one's mind around it. The state went through the expense of taking him to trial. They said for some reason they offered him a plea deal of probation. He turns it down, and I guess at that point they were pushed into a corner. And they said, wait a minute, we just offered you a sweetheart deal and you're not going to take it? So now they have to go to trial. They put the victim on the stand. They bring a jury there. They bring the cost of the DNA. A jury finds him guilty. Then a judge, for who knows what reason, gives him really just a 5-year sentence, of which he only has to serve not even a 5-year sentence. He gives him, let's look at this again on these ads. He gives him, a 5-year sentence suspended after 27 months. It's like the judge knew with parole he'd get out in a year, with all the costs and expense and trauma and denial from 28. And then add the insult to injury, he had one job. He had one job, is to show up at his parole hearing and admit his guilt. And he can't even do that. And what does the parole board do? They reward him with parole. And they make up an excuse, and this Chance, and I usually like her, she's pretty good. But no. The problem is that he doesn't have the programs to know. And once he has the programs outside, he'll know he's guilty. And it's like, are you kidding me? He just took this to trial. He will never admit his guilt. And they're all just doing this. They're doing this. The parole board and everyone, they think we're stupid. They want to placate us. They want to it would not have been that hard to say, no, sir, you are done. You have to admit it. You think, and they might say, well, where's the victim? And there's a few things. The victim could be that she's way too traumatized. Remember, it's been 9 months since his sentencing was even handed down to show up to this again. And she probably is still shocked when she got a letter from the parole board. He's up for parole. Where's the ADA? The ADAs don't show up to these parole hearings in Connecticut. I don't know. They'll only show up when it's in the news, in the media. We had this happen yesterday. A cop. There was a cop killer. They showed up to that. The whole thing's a joke. It's a mockery of the system. This was such an easy deny. It was so easy. It was so easy. And they didn't do it. They just didn't do it. And there's no explanation for it other than what I believe it is, and this is what I started to do research. Who has higher DOC incarceration rates? Who's doing it better? Is it Louisiana? And you search it, and you know what it says? Connecticut is one of the top states in DOC rehabilitation. And then it goes on to say, and they credit this, they owe it to their progressive approach to DOC, and they list all these things why. And then it all clicked. It all clicked. You see, they spent all this money, and then they make claims that it's working, and now the data needs to match those claims. And how do they do it? They do it by releasing people early. Now they have a lower incarceration rate. They do it by when someone gets revoked, it doesn't show up on the record as a new crime or even being recidivism. It's just a short revocation period. And this is now they get to say, look, all of our brilliant ideas, which is all this money expenditure and all this stuff, which we know by seeing what's going on now, it's just, all a money laundering thing. And that's it. Now they have to fuel the narrative. And when you watch these parole hearings, you realize it's all a bunch of BS. It's a bunch of BS at the expense of the taxpayer, at the expense of community safety, at the expense of common sense. But there you have it. And thank you again, Holly, for dropping this in. Sir Richard's been out, medical reasons. His eyes are just like shot. Doctor said he can't have any screen time for a week. And Holly's been jumping in and just a true champion. So drop the Holly emoji in the comment section as a thing.
Same sentence, non-compliance over and over again. And as you stated, Mr. Poole, the rules are the rules. We don't make them up. It's not our job to comply with them. It's Mr. Taylor's job to comply with them. And whether you like it or not, sir, it's against the rules of any of your supervision for you to review pornography, whether they're adults. I don't care if it's cats and dogs.
Well, Madam Parole Board member, I do care if it's cats and dogs, but I get the point. Now, this man was locked up for what he did in 2007 to 3 victims, 3 children that were living with him, an 11-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 14-year-old. And to make matters worse, his live-in girlfriend at the time, she knew about it. Not only did she know about it, but she bribed the children $300 to have them recant what they said he did to him. That insult to injury, his girlfriend only got probation for that, not a day in jail. Now, the judge sentenced him to 20 years in prison. No, 25 years, I'm sorry. But he only has to serve 14. Now, of course, he didn't serve all 14. He was paroled after serving just a fraction of it. And what's he do when he gets out? It was only November 30th of 2023 when he was sentenced for violating the conditions of his parole. As a matter of fact, it seems that he has violated his parole already 5 times. So if they grant, this will be his 6th chance out in the community. He also checks another box for something that we don't see often. We don't see maybe ever at all. And that is that he is considered to be a moderate to high risk on the static 99 joke scam risk score thing. And if you somehow check those boxes of being a high risk, that's just mind blowing. And if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. But here we are. He has a chance again to get out, and he's locked up for watching adult content on his phone. And I don't know why, but Mike Pohl seems to think that that's a good thing. He seems to think that it's a step in the right direction for him growing as a human being. The whole thing is just madness, in my opinion. But with that, let's jump in.
Matthew Taylor, 345-975.
This hearing is being conducted in consideration of the parole application for Matthew Taylor, 345-975. He is serving a sentence of 9 years, 6 months, executed suspended after serving 30 months, followed by the balance of his probationary term, which is 6,536 days. He is serving time for a violation of probation. The underlying charges are sexual assault first, victim less than 13 after more than 2 years older, and also a risk of injury. He is to remain on the sex offender registry for life. As of today, records reflect parole eligibility date of June 14, 2024. There is no victim input in this case.
There is an offender accountability plan for the offender. It has been reviewed and shows he has completed the short track sex offender program. Voices, he's currently participating in tier 2 with an anticipated completion date of February 17, 2025, and he works in the kitchen. Utilizing the statewide collaborative offender risk evaluation system, the offender's overall score falls within the low range of risk for recidivism. Utilizing the static 99R, the offender's overall score for sexual offense recidivism falls within the moderate to high range. Mr. Taylor, this is your opportunity to express to the board why you believe you should be granted parole. You may begin.
Since I've been incarcerated, I've learned through doing my programs, as far as like doing voices. During voices, I've learned that, you affect not just yourself, but your family members as well, because they got to deal with you being incarcerated. The tier 2 program that I'm currently in is, I've learned that you can do anything you basically set your mind to, and that if you put your mind to it, drugs is not the last choice. And for that, I also did the short track program that, with that, I've learned that my actions was not the right actions for me to do what I did back in 2006. I feel that I can do what I'm supposed to do, not what I want to do for parole and probation. Because I've realized that if I do what I want to do, that's going to get me back in here. And I'm getting too old for this. I got family out there. I just want to do what I have to do to better myself and show my family and my community that I can be the person that I'm supposed to be, not someone that wants to just be incarcerated in and out. Because this is my third and last sentence. Because I did 14 years, I did 2.5, now 18 months, and I realized that there's more than life than just sitting in a cell or in a dorm. You don't realize what you got till it's gone. And like I've realized, being in here, you don't have nothing in here. I got my daughter, she's 20 years old. I got my twin brother, he's very supportive of me. And I just, I want to make this my last time coming into Department of Corrections, because our parents didn't raise us to be troublemakers. If we ever want anything, we get what we just ask for it. Even though they had the little arguments back and forth, so on and so forth. But at the same time, I want to also go back to finish my GED, do a night school special ed if I'm able to. I actually have a job waiting for me when I get out, and the same job I was doing before I came in. He's also aware of that, because he's a subcontractor, so he knows that if there's linemen at the house, that I'm not allowed to be there. I understand that I'm not allowed, I can't have a smartphone, there's consequences that I have to deal with still, which is, having a flip phone, disable the internet, no smartphone, none of that nonsense, and.
So Mr. Taylor, I
Yes,
appreciate the information that you're offering us. We do have some questions prepared for you after we've reviewed your file. Would you mind if we started with those questions, sir?
Not a problem.
Ms. Chance will start. Thank you.
So, Mr. Taylor, when you went out on probation, were you given requirements of what you can and can't do?
Yes,
So why weren't you following them?
because at the time, when I got out, the lady I was with, she got me the phone for Christmas. It was like she wanted to get me top of the line phone and stuff like that. I know I wasn't supposed to, and I took it as a gift. It was a Christmas gift for me, a matter of fact.
let me stop you right there. So why, when she gave it to you and you know it's not appropriate for you, why didn't you thank her and give it back to her and tell her that you're on probation and you cannot have it?
I should have, and I didn't think, like, me getting out, I just wanted like something fancy. And I realized that something fancy caused me coming back to incarceration. I should have, but I wasn't thinking about it.
Mr. Taylor, you're serving time for very, very, serious charges.
Right.
And you went out on probation, and we shouldn't be here with you for this now. You know
No.
that you weren't supposed to. And then you're on the phone and you're viewing adult pornography.
Right. I understand that I'm not supposed to be doing that. Yeah, I thought, I know that, like, it says not to do this, and I just took it upon myself. I went carrying, and I gotta change my ways of thinking before I do something, because I also aware of this. You gotta think twice about something, then obviously you shouldn't do it. And I just need to stay focused and stay on the right path.
So, you completed the short-term sex offender program, and
Right.
I understand the stage of change that you're in.
Right.
And so I don't understand why, when you know that you're having issues dealing with your charges, you would go out and get involved in something that's related, in terms of what you were watching.
Right. Yeah. Like, if it was up to me, I would have went out and bought my own flip phone. I understand, like, she was just like, oh, take this, but now I realize, that's not what it comes down to. It comes down to me following orders, following what I'm supposed to do. And, I know when I get out, I'm going to get a flip phone instead of all that high tech stuff.
So, Mr. Taylor, you said going to a strip club and only get not going to a strip club is a high risk for you, or going to a strip club is a high risk for you.
Right. I know I'm not supposed to go, so I would not put myself in that situation. You have
So
to
what
be aware.
happens when it comes in your head and you say you want to go and you're not supposed to? What do you do?
I thought about that. Like, I'm getting too old for this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm 40 years old. I don't want to even deal with that stuff no more. And that's why I'm going to clubs and doing that. I want to just do what I have to do. Go home, come home and work, and that's it. All this going out partying. I understand if I do that, it'll get me back in here. And I gotta realize the consequences that I'm putting not just myself through, but my family through. I know that is one thing. One of the multiple things I, not gonna be doing.
So, sort of where I am today, Mr. Taylor, is that I know you took the short-term sex offender program, and you've gotten everything that you can get out of that.
Right.
And you took tier 2, and then you took voices, and you said you share that voices taught you about, you learned through that particular one, the effect of your behavior on, others.
Right.
And so, but you haven't done well on community releases before, Mr. Taylor. So what makes this time different than the other 6 times that you failed?
Well, I know I was out for like 5 years when I was out there before, and I realized it's the little things that, I'm not allowed to do as far as, the websites, the phones, and I realized that, it's a very serious situation that, it's the little things I got to put away to be successful. I'm not, I don't have no grudges. I'm going to stores or like strip clubs, going to the malls, going to, my mind is focused on, showing my family members and community that, I could be the person that I'm supposed to be. I got, I'm sitting in here like, I've grown up in this place basically, and now, I tell myself all the time, it's time for me to get my life together because, I'm like, what do I want to keep doing this the rest of my life? And I realized that, there's more than this, than just sitting in here. I understand the consequences. I understand when someone tells you that you cannot do X, Y, and Z, then don't do it.
So, this is just so concerning, Mr. Taylor. Why did you, the ticket that you got in July of 2023
Right,
said you punched a wall?
right, correct.
Why?
Because I was on the phone and my cellie didn't like the fact that, I would clean all the time. I would have my TV on early in the morning, stuff like that. So, what happened was I was on the phone. He come out the shower after, he was done, heard me talking to my ex-girlfriend at the time, or my girlfriend at the time. I said, oh, I probably won't call you for a week because, I'm just gonna, go to segregation because me and my cellie, we're not connecting. So he ended up hanging the phone off. Like I was on the phone and he hung it up on me. So, my mind was like, okay, well, I'm not a violent person. I'm not gonna hit him because then that just that's just another ticket. I'm not gonna rip the phone out the wall because then that ruins it for the rest of the people in the corridor. And my mind was just like, what am I gonna do? Just let him do it? Because if I let him do it once, what's not to say he'll do it again? So my mind just like got blew up and I ended up hitting the wall.
Yeah. Does your girlfriend know what your charges are?
The one I'm talking to now, yes.
And she's okay with that?
Yes. Oh, I've talked to her, my brother spoke to her and stuff like that.
Don't have any other questions right now, Mr. Taylor, but I'm just, very concerned about the fact that you committed this offense so long ago. It was just so serious, and you continuously, violate your probation, and you're back here now because you were viewing pornography on a cell phone that you shouldn't have had. So I'm going to wait to hear what my other colleagues have to say.
Thank you, Ms. Chance. Mr. Pohl?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to clarify some stuff, right? this original offense goes back to 2007,
Right,
when you were 18 years old.
right, correct.
Is that correct?
Yes,
And it involved minors.
correct.
Part of being involved in the treatment for problem sexual behavior and part of the special management unit and things like that, whether it's parole or probation, is that there's restrictions on the type of equipment that you can have and such, right?
Correct.
So as of now, one of the stipulations is enhanced internet and device monitoring, which is when you go out and you do have a smartphone, that smartphone can be gone through at any time, whether it's a parole officer or a probation officer.
Correct.
So that's what the deal is. So you are back right now. One of the things that you're back right now for is pornography.
Right.
And I just want to clarify for the record, is that, to my understanding, all of the sites, and by name, that's what they look like. All of those sites are based upon adult pornography.
Right.
And you have not done anything further with anything to do with children.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
So you really got to know what's going on here, because you still have a great deal of time left, right? 6,536 days on probation.
Right.
I
Correct.
don't even know how much time that is, but it's
Quite a bit.
it's probably what, close to 20 years.
If I'm not mistaken, yeah, I think I got like 17 or 18 left. I know.
Right.
Mhm.
So with all of that said, right, what you're back here for right now is because you had the phone and there were pornographic images on the phone, none of which had anything to do with children. And you were on dating apps. By name, all of them look or appear to be that none of them have anything to do with children.
Right.
So you really need to figure this out, right?
Mhm. Right.
Because as Board Member Chance said, it's cyclical here, right? If you do things that are not in line with what is being asked of you in the community, some of it's maybe not related to the original charges or convictions that you have here,
Right.
but it's what's being requested or not requested, required of you to be in the community.
Right.
If you don't comply with those things, this is just going to continue to happen.
Correct.
Right? Although it's just not okay that you break the requirements. Everything that I've read is that what this has to do with has nothing to do with the original convictions that you were convicted for.
Right.
So, and you've already talked about that you've taken the tier, you're in the middle of a tier program, but you've taken the short-term program again.
Right.
And you're ready to go to do whatever's required of you again with monitoring, the drill, monitoring and polygraphs and eye detects and all of those things that is required of you by Center for Treatment for Problem Sexual Behavior, right?
Yep, correct.
So, I mean, that's what needs to happen,
Right.
And I mean, I understand it's a challenge out there to have convictions like this and try to enter into some kind of intimate relationship with an adult, which is the avenue that it looks like you were going here, but there's restrictions and requirements.
Right. Correct.
You are trash, Lindsay. You are trash.
Correct.
So you gotta comply.
Correct.
I don't have anything further, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Poole. Mr. Taylor, give us a few minutes to talk about your case and we'll give you our decision, okay?
All right, thank you very much.
Ms. Chance, your thoughts?
So, Mr. Taylor has done all that he can do in regards to, why he violated his probation, really does not directly impact his original offense. And he's completed voices. Hopefully, it has enlightened him as to the impact of doing all these offenses that keep bringing him back to incarceration. He does have a drug score of 4, but he said his last drink was in 2006. So he's in the tier 2 now with an ETA of February 17, 2025. The short-term sex offender program, he completed that last September. And I would like to, I know he has 6 failures, but he's really done, I think, all that he can during this incarceration. It is up to Mr. Taylor to follow the rules of probation as Mr. Poole stated. And so I would be willing to put him out so that he can participate in the sex offender program in the community that will continue from the short term that he finished here. And I do think he needs to be in that program in the community.
Thank you, Ms. Chance. Mr. Poole?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So the violation here has to do with something that has evolved over time. The new restrictions that we have based upon court cases and stuff like that, with restriction on pornography and enhanced internet and device monitoring, which is going on. The original offense here back in 2007 has to do with children. Although it's restricted and he wasn't meeting the requirements, there's nothing that shows in this offense that the violation had anything to do with children, which is incredibly important for me to understand. I understand it's, you have requirements out there.
Mhm.
probation and on parole that you have to meet. And, you know, in this world, you know, sometimes they're not easy. But, you know, my position with Mr. Taylor was made clear. You got to figure it out. And for me, based upon the violation not having to do with children, even though it's not, it has to do with non-compliance, I would support parole in this case.
Thank you, Mr. Poole. So for me, while I can appreciate that Mr. Taylor has been done well in the facility and he's taken the appropriate program, he has been serving this sentence since 2009. Same sentence, non-compliance, over and over again. And as you stated, Mr. Poole, the rules are the rules. We don't make them up. It's not our job to comply with them. It's Mr. Taylor's job to comply with them. And whether you like it or not, sir, it's against the rules of any of your supervision for you to review pornography, whether they're adults. I don't care if it's cats and dogs. Pornography is pornography, and you're not supposed to do it. So for me, since he's almost finished with his sentence and he has supervision already to follow, and he has not been compliant on any of his releases, I would not be in support of parole today, and that for the reasons that I stated. So I do have conditions set for him. No alcohol, enhanced monitoring, minors, and problem sexual behavior in the treatment. Problem sexual behavior treatment in the community, and halfway house.
Yeah, as a friend in Shelton, is that confirmed or does he need?
Oh, I don't know.
It is confirmed.
It's confirmed. Okay. All right.
I'm
So no halfway.
Can you repeat those again? Because I
Sure.
have to.
All four on the sex ones? And then
The vic-
no alcohol?
Okay. No alcohol, enhanced monitoring, no minors, problem sexual behavior,
And restriction on pornography.
and
Okay. she said
Violation
that.
has to
Okay.
do with that. as
restrict.
well.
Yes. Right. Right. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
okay.
I'm just looking for the names of the initials. Can you give me the initials, please? Of the victims that you have? Because I did not write those down.
I see me with them.
I'm asking my colleagues. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
I'm sorry.
I appreciate it. No, it's not a problem. Thank you
No.
for offering.
It's, I don't know that I don't have them.
Madam Chair, the outreach was not done because it's the
It's
violation
online.
of probation, so I don't know.
Thank you. Okay. All
I
right.
did not put them on for that reason.
Right. I
Because,
didn't either.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So with regard to Matthew Taylor, 345975, I move to grant discretionary parole by majority decision on or after today's date, which is January 31st, 2025, with the following conditions in addition to the standard parole conditions. You are not to consume any alcoholic beverages. You will participate in problem sexual behavior treatment in the community. You are to have no contact with minors. You are restricted from viewing pornography, and you will have enhanced monitoring for your electronic devices. Did I say everything, colleagues?
Yes, second.
Yeah.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those in favor?
Right.
Okay. All those opposed, and that's me. Aye. So, again, Mr. Taylor, this is a majority decision, but you were granted parole, sir, and I do wish you the best. You'll receive all of this in writing. Your date is on or after today's date, sir. So I don't really know when you'll get out, but, it's unrealistic to think it's today. It's Friday. So, yeah, good luck.
I greatly appreciate it very much. Thank you very much.
This concludes the parole hearing for Matthew Taylor, 345975. You're all set, Mr. Taylor.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Man, and they granted. You know, I'm looking at the information that Sir Richard and Holly provided. Again, Sir Richard's out. Doctors on doctor's orders. He needs to be in complete darkness. But Holly jumped in and is just bringing in the supplementary information, which makes a big difference. And I'm looking at this info here, and it's just crazy. I mean, it's like they don't take into consideration that maybe someone is just a danger. Maybe it's just safer for the community for him not to be out in the public. I mean, breaking the rules by having a phone and looking at content, whether you want to go and do like the whole Mike Poll thing where he's like slowly navigating it, trying to like articulate that, well, it wasn't CP that they found on your phone. It was adult stuff. And from what we can tell, and first of all, it's like, without going through the revocation documents in itself, we don't really know what he was looking at. We don't know how much research they did. You know, it's not like they did a forensic diagnostic of the phone. We have seen revocation hearings where they will do a forensic diagnostic. They'll use, and we'll see this in the revocation process, where the parole officer takes a phone to Celebrate, and Celebrate prints out a report, and they do a whole forensic reading on what's in the phone. And we've also seen things where they just take the phone and go through the browsing history and say, oh, well, there's this website, and they'll name all the websites. And, you know, a parole officer is not going to go through a forensic test unless they really are thorough, because they can revoke with just the search history. So I want to say that we don't for sure know. And second, we don't know what this might do to him. Let's just, the bottom line is that if he's willing to risk his freedom by doing something like going on a phone, then who knows what else he's willing to risk, right? And you know, you find that he's going to his girlfriend. He has a girlfriend. You know, these monsters they find, and just to think, what's like, you really. What if she has children? And I know the parole officer is going to be his job to make sure the child's never there, but who knows what's going to happen? And remember, just look at his history, look at his inability to really control his impulse control. And you know, it's interesting, when this case first happened, the judge actually, they put him on, they didn't have him stand trial for like 12 months. They said that he wasn't like mentally there. And they said, but we can get him to the proper mental capacity. And they did. They got him to the 12 months later, and they didn't end up doing trial, but they said that he was mentally there to assist his counsel in the procedures. And I don't really understand what any of that means, how you can not be there and then you get there, and what that whole process is. And maybe he just, I don't know. But sometimes you just deserve to get locked up. And you know, what's interesting is that, like, this docket in the day's hearings, we had parole board members that just don't have consistency. It's like Miss Chance was the parole board member of reason for a hearing that happened right before this, and Miss Berry was not. And then a hearing later, you have Miss Berry, who is the person of reason, and Miss Chance is not. And then you have Mike Pohl, who's always going to be, except for the 0.1% of the time he surprises everybody by denying. And it doesn't really make any sense how they flip-flop. There's just not enough consistency in these parole board members. At least with Louisiana, you kind of have a certain consistency for most of them. And I don't know. I'm at a loss. But I have a feeling we'll see him again. I don't think he can help himself. I don't think he's has the impulse control. I think it's missing there. So I'm sure we'll see him in a revocation hearing sometime soon. And it will be in the return of playlist. And if you want to see hearings where people do come back for a second, third time, check out that playlist below.
I've realized that if I do what I want to do, that's going to get me back in here. And I'm getting swole for this.
Same sentence, non-compliance, over and over again. And as you stated, Mr. Poole, the rules are the rules. We don't make them up. It's not our job to comply with them. It's Mr. Taylor's job to comply with them. And whether you like it or not, sir, it's against the rules of any of your supervision for you to review pornography, whether they're adults, I don't care if it's cats and dogs.
I mean, these are very serious allegations for someone to make up. Did you physically attack her, assault her?
Well, at this moment, what can I say? Yes, I did. I pushed her and I yelled into her.
You pushed her and you yelled at her. Okay.
Yes.
But you deny any inappropriate contact.
No, actually, I'm sorry. I'm
And
not.
did you cover her mouth?
No, I can't. I didn't do anything like
So
that.
according to you, you pushed her. Did she fall to the ground?
No, she didn't fall to ground, but she pushed about maybe 3-4 steps back. And I was almost hit her face, my hands raised, trying to slap her face.
So why would she go to the hospital, sir?